Get over here!
So, Blub Ocean, Boom Boatyard, Mount Slide, Future City, and Stellar Way. And that's it.
Okay.
Huh.
We have most of everything.
Yeah, the collection thing in Patch Plaza said 97%.
And I think we have 93% of the game overall.
Yes, because we got all the furniture from the guy in Patch Plaza already, or Quilty Court.
Yeah, we
So,
bought them out.
remember this for me. Blub Ocean, Boom Boatyard,
Okay.
Mount Slide, Future City, and Stellar Way.
Blub, Boom, Slide, Future Stellar.
Alright, so that means we gotta go and, we gotta go to, Waterland first. But, before we do that, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 22 of Let's Play, I almost said Hollow Knight. Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Been playing a lot of Hollow Knight, have you?
I have. For those of you wondering why there was a patch of no episodes for a while, Patty and I had to catch up on recording. Plus, it's been a crazy month of January.
Also, if you're wondering why there's been no Skies of Arcadia lately, it's because technology hates me.
Basically, it's kind of dumb. But let's see. Okay, so Blub Blub Ocean is the first one, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so we need to find... I don't know what that is.
But it's the second thing.
Mm-hmm. Alright then, so while we're looking for that, let's go ahead and get to questions.
Okay, so our first question for today is going to come from the Dazzling Shell 101. What is the best victory road in the Pokemon series?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Every gen has to have a victory road.
Every gen has to have a victory road, and I can safely say it's not Gen 4.
What was the deal with Gen 4s? I'm having trouble remembering it.
You had to have every single TM equipped in some way, shape, or form, and that made things... Yeah, HM.
Yeah, there was like 8 of them, wasn't there?
Yep, and that made things extremely annoying.
I can't think if I was annoyed by it, but I just... I thought Gen 5s, I thought Unova's was just visually interesting, how you're kind of scaling this mountain the whole time.
Mm-hmm. That being said, the best victory road, not sure to be honest. Because I don't really remember Victory Road as vividly as I remember other places in the Pokemon games.
Gen 3 has the best Victory Road music.
I can agree with that.
I think, for me, Victory Road, I'm just looking for, like, visually distinct at that point, so Gen 5.
I'm looking for balance and overall a good experience. I'd have to say Gen 2.
Okay.
Basically because, like, I think the challenge was really good in that they gave you, like, plenty of opportunity to level up even further to take on the Elite Four, which, by the way, they were actually pretty darn tough. Aside from that, I honestly also like Gen 2's Victory Road, specifically because of the rival.
Yeah, that's the last time you see Silver, right?
Well, not the last...
Until the post-game.
Yeah, until the post-game, but yeah, like, Silver is a very, very good rival. In my opinion, the best in the series.
Oh yeah, bonus points to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire for that for what they did with Wally's boss fight.
Yes, abso-freaking-lutely. That was a godlike battle.
Just that room is so cool.
Like, it wasn't hard either, but it was a spectacle.
Yeah, it had cool atmosphere.
Like, cool atmosphere, awesome music, and Wally himself is a really, endearing character. So yeah, in my personal opinion, I would have to go with Gen 2, but, definitely special mention to Gen 3 for that awesome Wally battle.
I'm saying Gen 5 and Gen 7 because I like kind of I like kind of how much build-up that mountain in Sun and Moon has had before that. Like, you already know it's, like, the tallest point in Alola, and it's, like, snow. It's the first time you're getting, like, ice in the game.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's where you catch Alolan Vulpix, right?
Yeah. At the base of that mountain, at least.
Right. Yeah, no, I can agree with that.
Ooh, you're trapped.
I'm good.
Okay, good question.
Yeah, that was a short one, actually. Shorter than what we're used to.
This one might be a short one, too. I know it's a short one for me, at least. This comes from Multi-Yogi Bear. I like that name, by the way. Have you seen any Gundam anime?
I have. Not a lot, though.
I haven't seen much anime in general, to be honest, but no Gundam anime.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Gundam anime myself, to be honest. Like, it's not that it's bad or anything and I dislike it. It's just, I never was a fan.
He is suggesting, says that we might like Gundam build fighters. Do you know anything about that?
Can't say I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was kind of like stigmatized against a lot of anime when I was younger because a lot of my relatives didn't like it.
My parents were the same way.
I mean, I still watched Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon and that stuff that was on like the Saturday morning anime, which isn't like good anime, but you know.
Sorry, I'm trying to find this damn treasure.
Keep looking, I'll find another question.
But yeah, well, overall, yeah, like, I think I watched, like, Gundam Seed for a little while. I also watched, I think I watched the original Gundam for a good while as well. But, I don't know, Gundam never did it for me. Like, I was never a huge fan of, like, I was never the biggest fan of mech anime, to be honest. I think the only exception to that would be, Gurren Lagann.
Oh, yeah.
Because Gurren Lagann is a very, very well-written anime, in my opinion.
I've never watched Gurren Lagann, whatever, but I know that a lot of things I've watched have been influenced by it.
Oh, absolutely. This is the
drill
that will pierce the heavens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann is very mimetic in that way, and I personally love it.
Did you happen to see the season finale of Steven Universe that was on recently?
I have, yes.
A lot of the gems recently got, like, they got, poofed. They got put back into their gem form, and whenever that happens, when they reform, they have new outfits.
Right.
So we got to see a lot of them with their, like, new outfits, and Paradox is just a huge Gurren Lagann reference.
Why am I not surprised?
Like, complete with the, like, huge spiky sunglasses. Which is funny because earlier in the series, Peridot has a huge drill. Okay, well, moving on.
Right. I can't find this treasure.
What's that up there? Did you see that little, like, pocket? Oh. My only guess is that you might need to get, like, really good air somewhere and jump up to it.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I found the CD here. So, by that logic, the thing should be around here somewhere, but where is it?
Does the furniture always have to be before the CD?
That's how it usually is, yeah.
Oh. Time to dolphin nose up against every wall.
Pretty much.
I mean, this takes me back to trying to, like, 100% the new Super Mario Brothers games.
I mean, if push comes to shove, I may have to look this up. But, yeah. Let's answer one more question, and if I can't find it by the time we answer this question, then I'm gonna need your help, man.
Okay, this one comes from Nita Shinori.
Alright.
Who asks, would either of you do a real-time fan dub of a game's cutscenes?
I've been wanting to do that for a while, actually. There are, like, times when, like, okay, so you know me, I'm notorious for quoting stuff.
Yes, you are. Particularly out of context.
Yeah. Shut up. But, no, like, I've actually really wanted to do that as well. Actually, one thing I thought of doing on my channel was revoicing badly voiced cutscenes. Like, you know the classic Mega Man cutscenes that are just really bad? Like, you know...
What am I fighting for?
Yeah, what am I fighting for? Or, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, a lot of Mega Man examples, actually. But yeah, no, like, I've been wanting to, like, take badly voice-acted cutscenes and revoice them in some way. Another one I actually thought of doing is, like, maybe doing some Fire Emblem scenes that are very, like, poignant or, like, famous. For example, if I can find a kid that can do a really, really desperate cry, I would like to voice the one scene in Fire Emblem 7, spoilers, by the way, where you-know-who dies.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And that whole moment with Nurgle and Nils and, like, the three lords, that is a powerful scene, and I would like to replicate that with voices. Okay, so help me here!
I did look it up while you were talking. We need to go somewhere where there's, like, a basketball hoop. So I think we need to go later in the level, actually.
Really?
I think.
Then these furniture pieces are out of order. Okay.
I wasn't sure if the soundtrack counted as like a furniture piece.
Well, the thing is, like, it counts as one of the treasures.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'll take your word for it. Let's see if I can find it. In the meantime, go ahead and ask another question.
Okay, let me get back my.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you need to make a basket.
Oh, I see it. It's right there, actually.
Yeah, you gotta be like a dolphin. But anyway.
Am I not able to interact with these things? Hello? Or do I need to go in there?
Maybe you do. I thought you would have to, like, poke the balls up into the basket.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, you're gonna need, like, a running start, so to speak.
Swimming start.
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna take a little bit.
Well, while you're doing that, question from Kuja's Spirit. Will you guys be trying out Soul Calibur 6? Or since Soul Calibur 6 has already come out now?
I've already played it, in fact, and I love it. I am so happy to see Soul Calibur back to its roots. Like, the game feels fantastic. And, yeah, no, I've been playing it online. I've been playing ranked matches with people, and how do I do this?!
Okay, float to the surface, get next to the balls, and hold the 2 button.
What?! Oh my god. How are you supposed to know that?
I don't know, I guess sometimes you just gotta press buttons.
That's a bad case of god dang it.
Yeah, I don't have any defense for that one.
Let's just keep going. Anyway, Soul Calibur 6.
Yeah.
Fantastic game.
Soul Calibur 5 didn't... I really liked Soul Calibur 4. And Soul Calibur 5, not as much, because it felt like 4 just had more characters and each of them had, like, more crazy stuff you could do. 5 felt like it was probably a more balanced game, but just wasn't as fun to, like, fool around in.
A lot of the substance was lost.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur 6, in my opinion, like, brought back some really neat mechanics as well as added new ones. Like, the reversal edge system is a lot of fun. Like, really, really fun, and it can get you out of a lot of situations. The characters all feel like the characters. Like, the newcomers, like Grow, feel really good. Keelik is back, and he feels great. I love playing as my boy Sasalamel. Still probably my favorite character in the game. What was the next one, by the way? Boom Boatyard, right?
Yes.
All right. Oh man, I'm missing 2 treasures here. Oh, that's right. I gotta find music too. It's not just the stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, we didn't even look at where we were missing music from.
Yeah, also, this is a side-scrolling mission, so I gotta act fast.
It's an auto-scroller.
Yep. Actually, I remember having serious trouble finding all the treasures in this level, so this is gonna be a bit of a chore. Anyway, but yeah, I did try out Soul Calibur 6. Very, very good game. Recommended to those of you who are fans of Soul Calibur and those who are fans of fighting games. Current character, or current favorite character, Sasalamel. Current best character, Song Mina.
I was so happy Song Mina was back. I missed her in 5.
And you'll be happy to know that she's really good now. Like, she feels great.
I didn't necessarily mind in 5 where they, like, a lot of characters, they were like spiritual follow-ups to them. Like, we had, like, Shiba instead of Keelik. Like, we had, like, somebody who used the same weapon, you know, or, like, somebody who, like, Taki was their master, so they fought like Taki, and that's fine. But that's still, like, there was no answer to... A lot of playstyles were still missing, so there was no Talim or anybody like Talim. There was no Yun Sung, which there's still no Yun Sung. I'm a little sad about that, because he was my main.
Supposedly he's gonna be added later.
Okay.
Cassandra was also added, Cassandra's also gonna be added in the first DLC pack. So that's something.
Cool. But just, like, a lot of characters were missing for no discernible reason.
Except that it was, like, later in the timeline, but that doesn't explain characters like Ivy.
I don't think Ivy ages anymore. I think something in the story made it so that she can't age. I don't know. She's timeless. But, like, was Zasalamel in 5?
He was as DLC for some odd reason.
Because I remember him not being there at first and being like, well, why wouldn't he be here? If anybody would still be alive, it would be Zasalamel.
Well, there's the Treatland music.
Cool.
But I'm still missing one of the treasures.
Alright. Keep an eye out, I guess. Well, I know you're concentrating, but I am going to bother you with another question here.
Fine with me.
This one comes from Victorino.
Alright. Gonna have to type that weird name again.
It's cool, you got some zeros ones going. Do you guys have any games you enjoy playing despite the flaws it may have?
Oh, there are plenty of games like that for me.
I feel like we've answered questions kind of like this before, too, but, I mean, any game has its flaws. Mm-hmm. Anything you enjoy, you should be enjoying in spite of its flaws.
I was actually just having a discussion like that with Joe the other day.
Yeah.
Where a good game is not defined by having no flaws. A good game is defined by having by how much fun you can have with it, despite its flaws.
Yeah, and that's true of, like, any media.
Pretty much. But I suppose, like, maybe, like, we're talking about a game that is, like, has a lot of flaws and is obviously not worth, like, a lot of people's time, and yet we still love it for some reason.
I think Zelda 2 is still one of my favorite games on the NES.
I actually really like Zelda 2 as well, personally.
Kid Icarus Uprising is another one that comes to mind just because the control scheme is kind of not ideal.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the high ground usually is where
Found it!
Very nice. Pirate ship.
Alright, there you go. There's another, so the treasures are not in order.
I guess not, or at least not. I think the 2 furniture pieces are in order, but not the
Well, no,
soundtrack
that bottle is the first treasure on the list.
Oh, then all bets are off.
I guess. Ah!
That's okay, we're not going for a platinum. Or a gold. There is no platinum. I'm trying to think of other flawed... Well, you really like Skyward Sword.
I do. Despite the fact that it's kind of a mess.
There are things that I would really like to be different about Breath of the Wild, even though I really love that game. Same with, like, Kingdom Hearts 2.
There it is.
Yeah, really... I don't know. There aren't very many games that I would describe as being perfect, so...
No, like, in my opinion, there is no such thing as a perfect game. The closest that I can think of that, like, I love that comes, like, really, really close to a perfect game is Metal Gear Solid 3, but even Metal Gear Solid 3 has a lot of problems. Minor problems, but they're problems.
Yeah.
But if I were to pick a game that has... I guess you could say, if I had to pick a game that has a lot of flaws that are very blatant flaws, and yet for some reason, like, I still have a lot of fun with it, we gotta go to Spaceland next, right?
No, Mount Slide.
Mount Slide, so we gotta go to Snowland. Okay, thank you. I would have to say probably... I've discussed this before, but I really like the Summon Night Swordcraft story games.
Okay.
And those games have a lot of problems. Like, a lot. But I enjoy them nonetheless. Another one that I liked for all intents and purposes, I should not like this game. Another one that I don't have all the music for. I should not like this game, but I do. And it's, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles: The Crystal Bearers.
Oh, the one with the telekinetic guy.
Yeah. It's a very, very flawed and messy game, and yet I liked it. Like, I had fun with it. It wasn't great. Like, I can easily tell it was a terrible game, all things considered. But I enjoyed it.
So, if you were, like, on Metacritic, you wouldn't score it high. But
I absolutely would not score it high at all, by any stretch of the imagination. But I still liked it.
I got really into Pokemon Rumble World, even though I knew that it was just kind of like a freemium kind of garbage game.
Uh-huh.
But it was just entertaining to me anyway.
No, I do get that. No, it's okay, it's okay.
I was entranced by the surfing penguin.
But, yeah, my answer would be Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles of Crystal Bears. Very, very messy, sloppy game. I would not recommend it, but I like it nonetheless.
I feel like I like playing most things. So if you name a video game, I'll tell you why it's flawed and why I like it anyway.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, that's your soundtrack right there.
Yep. Okay, then.
Well, while you're starting over, Moon Angel Fire asks, who is your favorite character from each Yu-Gi-Oh series?
Oh, good lord.
I've only watched the first two, so I don't have anything after GX. I didn't watch 5Ds or... there's the...
Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Like, I'm most familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds.
Okay.
If I had to pick one from each of them... Okay, so from the classic series, like, I guess you could call it the classic series. I don't want to say Yugi, because he's not. Probably Joey Wheeler.
Yeah, I'm thinking Joey.
Because I think Joey Wheeler has the most.
Back.
I think Joey Wheeler has the most growth of all the characters, like, all in all. And I genuinely feel for him. Like, he's a guy who's just trying to do his best, trying to do what's right, and
he's
he
just
looks
trying
out
to pay for his sister's operation.
Basically.
For Serenity.
Yeah, his voice is also a treat. There it is.
Got it. Joey's the guy who's always like getting ahead by the seat of his pants. Like, he's always just barely winning. He has all the cards that...
Oh, no, wait, I got that one already.
Oh, okay. At the time, I really liked Bakura because he was so mysterious, but he doesn't... It takes a really long time
there it is.
for Bakura to pay off.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
I like Pegasus because he's deliciously evil, and I like Kaiba because he is a glorious bastard.
Damn it.
Okay, how about GX? Because I know we've both watched GX.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Honestly, Jaden, as much as I like Jaden, he kind of annoys me. See, I'm kind of torn with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX because I love Chaz Princeton. Like, at first he's a dick, and he's, like, really unlikable, but he has some amazing growth, like, in the first season.
I like how...
Especially because he ends up using a deck built around the Ojama brothers.
I like how he's first introduced, and it's like, oh, okay, he's the analog to Kaiba. Like, he's the rival character, and he's using, like, Arm Dragon and stuff like that. And then it proceeds to, like, have Jaden beat him, have him reduced down to, like the Slifer Reds, like the bottom house, and the plot just, like, craps on him for the rest of the entire series.
And then he ends up winning the GX tournament.
Yeah, but it doesn't let him get away with being the Kaiba. Like, it gives him actual, like, punishments for being a jerk.
Which I appreciate, to be honest. Okay, so what was the other one?
Futureland, you walked
Oh, okay, so we need to go here. Future City.
Future City, yeah.
Okay, we need to find, like, a table or something. Alright, For me, personally, with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, I'm torn between Cyrus, because I actually feel for Cyrus. I think he's cool.
Yeah, I always like the sidekick underdogs.
I wouldn't call Chaz my favorite because, like, you know, but I do like him as a character, mind you. But I'm also torn between... Goodness gracious, I messed up already.
Wop wop.
I don't have any beats to lose, so okay. But, I also really like Tyranno Hasselberry.
Oh, yeah.
If only because of the silliness with the character.
His backstory is that he was in an accident, and he needed to have some of his bones replaced with dinosaur bones.
Basically.
So now he has, like, weird dinosaur instincts. And when he gets intense, he gets dinosaur eyes.
It's stupid, but it's a kind of fun stupid, you know what I mean?
Those are my favorite kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters, like, where their deck theme is based around their personality for some... Like, was it Crump, who had, like, the penguins in, in the first series.
I don't remember.
He was one of the Kaiba Corp guys. I think his name was Crump, and he had a penguin deck. And he was like, because when I was a kid, my parents didn't love me, and I went to the zoo and loved penguins instead.
Basically. But, yeah, no, I do like Hasselberry, and I like Cyrus. From GX, or from 5Ds, that's the one where my favorite character is the protagonist. I actually really like Yusei Fudo. If only because, like, he has the kind of character that you know this guy can make something out of nothing, because I like the way his deck is structured. Like, he has a deck filled with weak monsters, but he makes them work because they all work really well together. And one of my favorite episodes from 5Ds is when he's in the facility, and he fights Tanner using a deck from that one old dude that had a deck filled with, like, ancient artifacts.
Okay.
And he made it work, like, really, really well. Because, like, it was this, like, special card called Triangle Oath, where he had to get 3 treasures out in the field, and basically it would demolish everything once he activated the card. It was a cool duel, in my opinion. Interrupted by, what's-his-face, getting lectured by the main villain about, like, prophecy and, like, destiny. You know, standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Flair.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about as far as we can go with Yu-Gi-Oh! Because
unfortunately,
neither of us watched past that point.
Honestly, the anime doesn't really impress me all too much. Like, I watched it, but aside from that, I was never too invested in it.
It's interesting because, like, I don't like most of the characters from GX, but I remember really being curious what was going to happen.
Yeah. It kind of lost track of what it wanted to do after the second season, in my opinion.
Was
like
that the, like, Society of Light?
Yeah, with the Society of Light. Things just got a little too crazy, in my opinion. Alright, I think I need to find the treasure using the UFO here. Yeah, I think so, because I need to, like, maybe unlock a, I think I need to unlock an area using the shockwave.
Alright, well, here's a question from Evan Zarkowski.
Alright.
What would you say is the hardest boss you faced in any game? And do you actually like that boss or dislike it?
Oh, man, there's a lot of bosses that I had trouble with.
That's a very general question.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, I'm kind of stumped on this one too.
I mean, I can think of some bosses that really, really gave me a hard time. Like, there were definitely difficult bosses that I had a lot of trouble with that I can safely say I still liked despite. In fact, maybe I like it because. One example of a boss that I just did not like at all, and because of its difficulty, and I raged at, pretty much any SNK fighting game boss.
Oh, fighting game bosses are on a whole nother level.
Yeah, fighting game bosses are... There is a business art to fighting game bosses, because they are literally designed to swallow your quarters.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole purpose of them. Not quite what I had in mind, though.
And fighting games are kind of built on you and your opponent being on the same playing field, so to make a boss, they need to make it not fair.
Mm-hmm. Killer Instinct is one such example with its Kyle difficulty, Shadow Jago.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to hold on to these charges so I can find where I need to go.
Well, I know you've beaten Sans in Undertale.
That is one example of a very, very difficult boss that I actually like a lot because it punishes you for doing the genocide route.
Well, I've beaten Zelda 2, so from that I want to say actually the Thunderbird, because you have to fight the Thunderbird and then you have to fight Dark Link.
Right.
And if you run out of lives, you're back to the beginning of the Great Palace, which is the most annoying. And Dark Link at least
At the very least, it drops you off at the Great Palace and not the very beginning of the game.
Yeah.
So there's mercy there.
Dark Link has an exploit. Like, he's harder if you're actually, like, playing fair. But by that point, I'm like, no, screw this game. This game has asked too much of me. I'm not going to play fair.
Oh, absolutely.
The Thunderbird, though, is more... you kind of have to tank and spank it, and it's after such a long, grueling dungeon that, like, you're running low on health and magic. So that's one of the harder ones I can think of, and no, I don't particularly like that boss fight.
I may need some help with this one. But, you know what? There's one boss I can think of that, like, gave me some seriously hard time. But I enjoyed it nonetheless, and part of it is because of that difficulty. Star Dream.
From
Kirby Epic from Kirby Planet Robobot.
Okay.
Star Dream is, what the heck?
Robobot actually took me a few tries, yeah.
Yeah, no, like, the bosses in Robobot didn't mess around. They actually were really hard. And I appreciated that, actually, because, like, I wasn't used to that kind of difficulty in a Kirby game.
The tough thing is that Star Dream has a time limit. I think at the top...
Oh.
Okay. Interesting.
Could this be it?
I think you need to take that path on the left.
Yeah, let's check that out first, because I can come back from this. Oh, no, yeah, that's to get that. So if I go here...
Is this it?
Bingo!
Nice.
Space table! Alright, so now I can blaze through this game, or through this level. But yeah, Star Dream is definitely one example of a boss that was really hard, because to get the 100% completion in Planet Robobot, you had to go through this gauntlet of a boss fight. But it was satisfying. Like, I really like the way they handled it. Now that I think about it, a lot of Kirby bosses are like that. Because when you unlock that final version of this one boss that's really hard, and you eventually beat it, like, after this grueling boss rush.
Yeah.
Kirby, in my opinion, does boss rushes right. Because they don't plop them in at the end of the game. It's an extra mode that you can tackle, and if you beat it, you get something extra.
Yeah,
which is nice.
I would agree.
And, yeah, Star Dream, in my opinion, was just that, with the true arena of that game. Another example is, the soul bosses in a lot of the Kirby games. Special mention to Mark Soul. Yeah, Mark Soul, Magalore Soul, and Void Soul.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go with Star Dream for that for the answer to that question.
Well, the question was, what is the hardest boss you've ever faced?
That's tough though. There's so many. Jeez. The final boss of Octopath Traveler definitely threw me for quite a few loops.
Oh yeah, did you ever end up beating it?
I did eventually beat it.
I rage quit. I was very upset at the game.
No, it is a very unforgiving boss fight.
Is there still a soundtrack in there?
Say what?
Is there still a soundtrack in there?
Oh no, I got that one already, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, I already got it.
Okay.
Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2. No. You know what? No. Hardest boss I've ever fought. The freaking... I forget what it's called, but the possessed armor in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, yeah.
Terra's armor.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that fight!
Yeah,
I forget what it's actually called in that game, but Terra's armor in Kingdom Hearts 2 was a nightmare. But I loved it!
That's a good one.
I don't remember... what's the last one?
What?
Stellar Way.
Stellar Way, yeah.
Alright. Let's see if we can find this one and then we can call it. But yeah, no. You know what? Answer to that question. Hardest boss in video games that I've ever fought that I still loved and adored to heck is definitely Terra's possessed armor in Kingdom Hearts 2. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Like, maybe like something Vessel or...
Yeah, it might be. But yeah, great fight, great atmosphere, great challenge.
Great, like, giving you a clue about something in the later games.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry, if you were to ask me, which I guess I'll answer an additional question here. If you were to ask me what my favorite song in Kingdom Hearts is, Rage Awakened. That is bar none my favorite theme in Kingdom Hearts. So yeah, there's my real answer. Like, special mention to Star Dream, but yeah, I would have to go with I would have to go with Terra's armor in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I think Star Dream is like a little bit tricky with the time load and everything, but I wouldn't say it's like the most difficult thing I've ever beaten.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Alright, so next question.
Okay, this one comes from the Count Arc. Have you ever thought of remaking some of your older countdowns?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was actually talking to Amber Ignis yesterday actually, about like how I got started. And I remember, you know what? I might as well go ahead and tell this story, kind of like to reflect on this question.
Go for it.
My very first countdown was top 10 video game heroes, right?
Yeah.
The story behind that countdown was, so you know how a lot of people are inspired by like, you know, famous figures or you know, people who are like are big names in the industry or something like that?
Yeah.
I was inspired to do the Green Scorpion by 3 people in particular: Alex Roshan, Joshua Berner, and William Allen. Those of you who know, those are the Autarch of Flame, the Fiery Joker, and Rabbit Luigi. I loved watching them when I was in high school and college, mainly in college, because that's where I really got started on like watching the Countdown community and whatnot. But
and that's when you were also learning a lot of like editing and design
no,
and
actually,
stuff, right?
no, actually, I was doing computer science. In community college at first, but then I discovered I hated it. So I instead started doing general studies to try and figure myself out. And my dad suggested because of like my interest in video games and whatnot, why don't I get into communications? So I decided, you know what? Yeah, like I'll take maybe a communications class, and I ended up taking a Final Cut class. And then I discovered, like, you know what? This is the kind of stuff I'm sure the Fiery Joker and Rabbit Luigi and whatnot, like all those guys, this is kind of stuff they do. And I suddenly got the urge to make my very first countdown, which was top 10 video game heroes, right?
Yep.
My very first video was making that like mashup trailer with Mad World and 007, which was a class project actually. Okay, so there's the music. I'm gonna look down here. But what else? What was I gonna say? Oh jeez.
Oh no!
Did not know that was a oh well. But anyway, I decided just on a complete and utter whim to do a countdown, and I was like discussing top 10 video game heroes. Excuse me. And this is just me, a guy, looking up videos on YouTube, using a YouTube downloader online to collect footage, using Final Cut in the college classrooms. I was by myself, and I like stayed in there for hours upon hours after classes were done, just working on this countdown. And like the way I recorded it was me using the public computers that had built-in mics. If you actually listen to the audio of that countdown, you can actually hear people like behind me like passing by and just like discussing like whatnot, just having random chatter. But it eventually got put together, and once it finally happened, I was just in awe at the reception that it got from like just a couple of hundred people that just happened to stumble upon it. And it was then that I was like, I want to keep doing this. I had so much fun. I want to keep doing this, and I eventually became the Green Scorpion from that.
To get back to the question though,
right?
So if you were making some of your old countdowns, which ones would you do, and how would you want to do it?
I was considering maybe redoing top 10 heroes and villains, just kind of as a like a hurrah to like how I start, like back to my roots and how I started things. One countdown I definitely want to remake, like no question, is top 10 fighting games. Because I have a much better understanding of the fighting game community now. I now understand better what makes a good fighting game.
You have different criteria for it now than
I definitely do, because I definitely made that countdown from a purely casual standpoint. And now I look back at it and I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, the casual market is definitely a thing to consider.
There's nothing wrong with being casual, but that's just not how you feel anymore.
Yeah, it's not how I feel anymore, because now that I think about it, yeah, no. The thing is, I was keeping the casual-minded, mindset too much of the focus when I should have been like, okay, what does this offer casuals and pro players? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I had to choose a countdown that I really, really would like to remake, it would definitely be top 10 fighting games. I don't know if I found it, but I guess I'm going through this now.
It could still be, like, in this section.
I hope it is. But, yeah, I also have it, like, on my to-do list, is to remake top 10 fighting games, so expect that eventually. Maybe not soon, but eventually.
There's a lot of eventuallys on our schedule.
Trust me, I know.
We go through a lot of ideas.
You and I are gonna do top 10 dogs, don't worry.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that one, actually.
No, people want that one, dude. Like, after I did top 10 cats with Aramal, everyone wants to see that one.
That's because dogs are superior to cats. Sorry, not sorry. I'm gonna go back to another question from Evan Zarkowski.
Sure.
Would you consider doing a most disappointing games list? If not, off the top of your head, what's the most disappointed you've been with a game?
Do I really need to bring this up again?
I think I have the same one as you, so...
Fire Emblem Fates.
Yeah, and it's not even like it's my least favorite game or anything. It's just
not.
The most disappointed I can ever remember being with something is getting to Chapter 5 and the, like, big event of a certain character death and being like, wow, I feel nothing.
Basically!
I was so excited for this game and I feel absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Why does it keep haunting me? Like, the thing is, again, guys, I do hate Fates, not because I think it's a bad game, but because it's just disappointing as all heck to me. And I didn't find this treasure. Help me out here, man.
Okay, which one is this? Stellar Way?
Stellar Way, yeah. But yeah, like, Fire Emblem Fates disappointed me more than a lot of games did. Like, here's the thing. By comparison, Sonic Forces is a terrible game. Like, compared to Fire Emblem Fates, Sonic Forces is just bad. But it didn't disappoint me as much because...
you didn't have high expectations for it.
Bingo!
Yeah.
I had a lot of expectations from Fates, and I was left disappointed.
And that doesn't need to mean that it's bad, because, like, you wanted it to be, like, X, Y, and Z, and it turned out to be Q, R, and S.
Basically. Like, yeah. I suppose to expand on the question, because my disappointment of Fates kind of just gets brought up a lot. Another game that I would say disappointed me a lot was Paper Mario Sticker Star.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was looking forward to Paper Mario again, you know? Like, I liked Super Paper Mario, but I didn't love it. I wanted to go back to, you know, what it was like with Fire Emblem... Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door.
Paper Mario.
But, yeah, like, I wanted things to go back to that, and when I saw that Paper Mario Sticker Star was gonna be turn-based combat, I was excited! And the game sucked! Hard!
Is it that down there?
No, it's not. Yeah, you're gonna have to help me here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the... There's something where you have to go under that big, like, spinning planet with the buildings on it.
Yeah?
It might have to do with that. This guy is a little hard to...
So, it's not the one I just passed, right?
What? Oh,
Because I can't go under this thing.
You want to leap of faith it? And see if there's anything you can grab onto down there? Okay, sorry.
Nope.
No, I think it's a later one.
Yeah, I think I know which one it's talking about. We'll see.
Another one,
yeah, just so you guys know, this is going to be a long episode. And in case you haven't already figured that out.
I mean, when you're at the 40-minute mark, you know it's a 40-minute episode.
Yeah.
One that comes to mind is Pokemon Battle Revolution for the Wii.
I can agree with that.
Because Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2, like, I can't even say how good those games are because they were just so good to me because all I wanted was for Pokemon to battle on the big screen. And then Coliseum and Pokemon XD, I think, are actually, like, underrated gems.
They're okay in my opinion.
They're
like,
not as good as mainstream Pokemon games, but
but the thing is, like, for me personally, I didn't like them any more than I liked the Pokemon Stadium games. Like, I had more enjoyment out of the Pokemon Stadium games.
Pokemon Stadium, and the point is, Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2 had a lot of side content and a lot of reasons to want to play the game. Yeah, I think just ride this down and keep an eye out on the lower right.
Oh. Yeah, there it is. Cool. A rocket bed. I think that's all the stuff, man.
I think that's all the stuff.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish the level. But moving on to that, yeah, Pokemon Battle Revolution was just...
There's just no content to it.
Yeah, it's nothing but battles, and even then, it kind of sucked.
It had, like... It had one of the first things that let you customize your trainer, like, with clothes, and that was a neat idea. And,
yeah, at the very least.
But after that, which was in Gen 4, they stopped making these, like, Pokemon Stadium-type games where you can take your Pokemon from the handheld games and fight them on the big screen. And now there's not really a reason for that anymore, because as of Gen 6, Pokemon are in 3D anyway, and the next one's gonna be on the Switch, presumably, so...
Yep, and we've already seen that, like, they can already do Pokemon on the big screen with, like, the Let's Go games.
Yeah, so...
What'd you think of the Let's Go games, by the way?
They're fine.
Yeah, it was a cute little distraction, in my opinion.
Yeah, not for me, but I think other people are gonna get, like, a huge...
Nostalgia wave?
Or it's gonna be their first time, and that's going to be great. I've played through Gen 1 so many times that, like...
That is understandable.
That it was kind of a slog for me, but...
That's understandable. Yeah, no, like, if anyone wants to get into the Pokemon series, Pokemon Let's Go is actually a good way to do it, in my opinion. Sorta, kinda. If I were to choose a mainstream Pokemon game, I'd say Pokemon, maybe Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green are good starters.
Allie got into it with Pokemon Black and White, actually, which is probably all in all my favorite gen, but I don't know.
Alright, but yeah, disappointing games, for me, Fates and Sticker Star.
Fates and Pokemon Battle Revolution. Trying to think of other... Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Because I had gotten into... Okay, so there were so many Kingdom Hearts spin-offs. I think we can all admit this, that they really drug their feet going into Kingdom Hearts 3 now. The game's out, so we can all admit that it took way too long to come out.
Yes!
But... You know, even with all the spin-offs, I never complained too much because we finally started to figure out, like... Okay, so you got, like, Chain of Memories and Coded and 348, which, like, has things that go into the plot.
358, get it right, John!
But, I'm not even gonna dignify that with a response. But then, Birth by Sleep is really freaking good, so it started to be like, okay, so out of the spin-offs, you have some of the games that are actually really big on the story and are really good full games. Right. And I was expecting Dream Drop Distance to be one of those.
It wasn't.
It's not, and it was just...
Completed stuff!
Stuff completed. Also, it did Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is one of my favorite Disney movies, and if Kingdom Hearts levels are usually the Cliff Notes of Disney movies, these were like the Cliff Notes of the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And, like, the world ends with you characters. Like, yeah, they're there, but, like, they don't do anything. Like, hey, this exists. Like, thanks, but...
We are missing a few tunes. And I don't know if I can... we are missing 2.
Okay.
Let's take care of this next time, shall we?
Sure.
Alright, then. Thank you guys for... Oh, did you want to finish your point, by the way?
No, I was just rambling at this point.
Alright, then. Well, there you go. We got a lot done today. So, thank you guys for joining us for episode 22 of Let's Play Kirby's Epic Yarn. I am the Green Scorpion.
I'm the ComicFoil.
And in the next episode, we're gonna see if we can find the rest of the music and hopefully finish up with these guys. But yeah, I expect like maybe 2 episodes like left of this thing, dude, because we're almost done.
Yeah, we are wringing this out like a wet sheet.
Pretty much. Oh, I get it.
I wasn't even trying that time, actually.
Oh, really?
That was completely happenstantial.
Okay, well then there you go. At least it was better than a pun. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
See you guys next time.
The puns are just coming automatic now. I'm more pun than man.
That's not a virtue.